start trouble. Scare all these nice people? You ain't got nothing better to do. Did you just do our sheriff?
I've been sitting on this feeling for too long. 3 guns, a subcompact, and got too long. You right or wrong, only add up to be too wrong. So I'ma do me in broad day and then move on. I'm tit for tat. Look, you did dirt, what you get for that? Like 3 holes right in your head, that's where we different at. They paid a large sum to get you scratched. But what would your people pay to try to get you back? Yeah, what would they pay? See, I could just kill a man. For the bucks, I could have all the bodies hang from a ceiling fan. If somebody put the right amount in my hand, I could bring the bodies in pieces inside a moving van. Money gotta be right though. But this shit ain't for everybody. Disposing of everybody is extra with everybody. It cost you extra. When I go, it'll be a cold day. When my number is drawn and I'm on that cold plate.
Cherry was right. You're soft. You should have let him kill me, cause I'm gonna kill you.
You're not my man. You're not my man. You're a genius.
Shut down, that whole present trade.
You know, I got Santa Claus on fucking speed dial.
Speed dial.
Oh, yo.
Yo, do you guys do the elf
We got
shit?
some elves.
Nah, we elf-proof our house.
Elf proof. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, you take glitter and crushed up peppermint, sprinkle that shit on the doorways like salt for demons.
Oh shit, here we go. Can you hear us?
You go with this, fellas. Absolutely.
Yeah,
What's going on,
nice
bro?
and clear. What's going on? Hold on. All right, let me
Cool.
All right. Let me make sure my
Head towards the light, dog.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm whipping up. I'm making myself some tea.
Hey.
Oh, all right.
I get that.
What we drinking?
Second. Tea. I don't fuck around. I don't drink no smoke.
What kind of tea?
We're gonna go with some green tea. We can just do
Okay.
Lipton green.
Okay. So nice and simple, man. That's
I love that shit.
I got that fucking.
Yeah, I
Nah,
like
I'm
some.
with the sweet tea.
I'll be on my
kinda
health.
guy.
I'll be on my healthy
agree.
shit. I do that soursop tea, man. I'll be on my Dr. Sebi shit.
That's,
So I'll be,
that's
Never
good
had
shit.
that.
What you do, boil the leaves?
yeah, man. I do that shit, and that's shit's nice, man.
Does it
That's
taste good?
stuff.
Nah, it doesn't taste good. Don't taste as good as soursop because it's soursop leaves, but soursop's delicious, but it's not.
I've
Yeah,
had
it is.
soursop once in my life.
It's a good time, bro.
Y'all
It's
know
like,
who put me on to that too, right?
oh, is it Riggs?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You already
yeah.
Absolutely.
With
That's
that-
my
You already
nephew.
He converted everybody.
oh, yeah. Y'all, so the whole club, y'all family, or like mostly, right?
Nah. Times is an outsider. Mooch,
Hmm.
I'll take that back. Times is not an outsider. That just sounded a little
Poor
crazy.
choice of words.
Yeah, very poor, very poor. But like we're not related to Times, and Riggs and Mooch, they were they are friends, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like blood could make them two no closer. They
Yeah,
met each
yeah,
other
yeah,
in
yeah.
middle school, something
I
like
can relate.
Okay, yeah, I feel that.
I understand that.
that. Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, man, I'm ready. I mean, we pretty much got started, but let's go down the line, I guess. But I'm John D. Contradiction. I'm the one you're always talking to in the DMs. We got Walco right there with the white headset, and my man with the. I like the hair you rocking with, Barrett. Barrett's hanging out.
Yo.
Barrett's chilling with us with this. I'm feeling the haircut, man. It's new, man. It's
I'm
new.
trying to dread the top.
Yo, if you want the shortcut way, man, you could do the fucking crochet needle. That shit works. That's how I got mine going. But that's the
So
shortcut.
You got the crochet needle dreads.
Yeah. They took 2 seconds because I was in a rush, man. I wanted to get it rocking for like a wedding, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So we got them done, and it was immediate. I was like, oh, word. And then you just take care of it from there, and it naturally starts to do its thing a little bit better after. But
That crochet situation is serious, man. That's like instant dreads.
yo,
too.
it's instant, instant. But it
Thinking
worked.
about it now.
Yeah, it worked. It
Worked.
worked. So hey, and it's easy too. It's easy. But yo, man, our special guest today, man, introduce yourself for our viewers when they check this shit out.
What's happening? This is MAV, MAV, money and violence. The people respect both.
Fact.
The outfit is the cloth. Your favorite rapper's most likely not cut from.
Bars.
Fact.
I like that.
Yo, man. So, yo, we appreciate you joining us because, like, yo, I got put on to Riggs this year, and from there, I haven't looked back. Like, I've been each of y'all projects, listening to y'all, and I'm like, yo, y'all got arguably one of my favorite hip hop teams in general now, not just of the year. You know what I'm saying? It started off like the year easily.
That.
But in general, like y'all got
people don't know what's going on up there.
Killer. Yeah, they don't. They don't.
You
People sleep.
My smile when you mentioned that you got put on the rigs and there was no turning back. I used to tell people about rigs, and they said I was biased. So I love to see motherfuckers eat their words.
Oh yeah,
bro.
And that's crazy because like
eat their words.
I got put on to him by Rome Streets. Rome Streets was like, bro, check out Roach Gutter Slums, and I was like, I bet. And I'm like, one, that name, I'm sold. Two, I see the cover, I'm like, I bet. And then I listened to it and I did the review, and I was like, yo, I'm like, this is one of the clearest 10s I've given all year. And we don't get, you see the page. We don't give 10s easily like that.
Nah, you gotta earn that shit.
Nah.
Look, I was trying to figure out the scale. Like, what the fuck they mean? My shit a 7 point. What?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this is one of the clearest 10s ever. And this is like immediate. Like, I was halfway through, like, this is literally about to get a 10. So I messaged the guys. I'm like, yo, y'all need to, and I was doing this for a minute. I'm like, y'all need to really listen to this shit. And they were just like, yo. And I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck, bro? So if anyone said you're biased, they didn't listen. You know what I'm saying?
They wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Because I got
they definitely sleep. But listen, they all wide awake right now.
We need more people, just as a collective. We need more people to understand what y'all doing, man. I remember, I did. Your project. Your project was just a little short.
Who did that review?
I did the Angels and Demons, and
get at him for that 7.
No, he got a 9. He got a 9 on there. I gave him a 9.
Oh, he got a 9. Got the 7, right?
No, it was him and Hobgoblin. It was their joint project. It was MAV and Hobgoblin.
Got a 7.
I think I don't know, but they've been getting high above 8s the whole team, man. I think most of them. But this project, I was like, fuck, I'm like, yo, this project's a great. The only thing with this project, and it's another thing we rarely say, I'm just like, yo, I need more. You know what I'm saying? And usually we like, all right, make it short. We don't hear no more. But this one, I was like, damn, you gonna hit me with fucking 6 heat tracks and just dip? Like, god damn.
But to make it up to you, Angels and Demons 2, we slated to drop that on December 28th.
Oh,
yeah, right. And we definitely got more than 6 joints on that.
Oh man,
Exclusives.
Yo,
it ended up being a full project. It ended up being, you know what I'm saying, an album and not an EP. Which we was trying to keep it to EPs, but like Hobgoblin be sending shit, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta get on
this shit slaps.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like his production,
it's
me
nice.
and his production just go hand in hand, man.
It's nice when you find that.
He got beats that he sent that I don't even know what the fuck to do with them. But I tell you what, I ain't letting them go so somebody else can get on me. Hold them until I know what to do with them. You know what I mean?
I'm holding on to this.
Fact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit. And when we play them in the studio, I always tell people, oh, no, you can't get on that. They be like, ooh, what's this? And I'll be like, oh, no, that's mine.
That's not for you.
First thing out of my mouth is, that's mine. And if I hear one of your beats and I like it, first thing out of my mouth is, that's mine. You know what I'm saying?
That's mine. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Yo,
and Riggs
I feel that,
know
man.
Like, oh, that's mine's right there, right? You know what I'm saying? That is my shit, right? So,
Yo, I feel that though, but that's how it is, man. Yo, and it's crazy because like even now, because like the underground, like the underground's always gonna be strong, but it's always there's always like certain people that just kind of drown, because even the underground got like their tier that's like high up there. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you hear about all the time, and there's always and like with producers drown more. And it's like, I've been hearing Hobgoblin's name for a minute, and it's like, yo, but I never hear it amongst the talks of this and that, but it's always quality. You know what I'm saying? And it's,
we gotta change that.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta do more work. Whoever working with Hobgoblin, myself included, we gotta do more, because we definitely deserve those men.
Have you,
what I'm saying?
Honestly,
if
this
I
next
him
one
to the street, I got him dirty. I got him dirty. He dirty, nasty now.
Yo, with this project, man,
Painful. This shit was nasty.
Right. Yeah, he out there.
Yo, he's wild, man. He's wild. Oh, here comes Mini John D. the OG Not Ya Manz will tell
the
me if
mini
my
goat.
stuff is garbage immediately.
You sure he? Hey, little man, you ain't the one who rated my project, did you?
Did you
You
rate
get
his
to shoot the
project?
fair one. No, you should actually get a 9, bro. I just
Yeah,
looked
no,
it up.
your project got a
That's
9
what I
for
was
me.
doing.
All right, listen, I take it all back.
There you go. There you go.
Your project, man. I
That's
remember
right,
starting with Killer Man. It was Killer Man, Half Energy, and Shark Week. Those 3 songs, I was like, are the best 3 placed songs ever. Just back to back to back. That's right, back to back to back.
I appreciate it, man.
Bro. But
You
that's
know, for the sake of it, for the sake of it, I may still shoot. Even though we 2 projects out at this point, I still may just shoot videos for that project just for the sake of it, because I don't know. I think I gave up a lot on that. Like I gave up some real wild shit.
Yeah, honestly, and nothing wrong with that.
Even
Like
the
you do
voicemails joint.
you do the visuals for it, you'll bring people right back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'll bring
look.
people right back.
Absolutely, and that's what it is. Like, think about it. It's December, right? And this is one of the things that I talk about amongst my guys. Every time somebody drops, it's the album of the year. It's the classic, this, that, and the third. But we usually not talking about that shit in a week or 2 weeks because somebody else dropped. I say that to say it's December. And we on here talking about Angels and Demons. Motherfucker, my shit the album of the year. You feel me? My shit the album of the year.
We'll see what happens when we got our top 10.
I mean,
at the end of the year.
I think everybody knows already. Roach Gutter Slums is my album of the year, and I've been telling people since I listened to it. I'm like, this might be my album of the year, and end of the year, I'm like, it's still.
Listen, Roach Gutter Slums is so hard, and if it's your album of the year, then that means
He's like, I can't even be mad.
Roach Gutter Slums has been the album of the last few years, because what a lot of people may not realize is that is a re-release.
Oh,
So
word.
Oh,
it was done.
shit.
Absolutely. It was done over. That album was done. That project was done a few years ago.
Oh, this is some
And,
inside baseball right here.
Yeah.
During that time,
Exclusive.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, Riggs has grown. The production has grown. You know what I'm saying? Troop's production has grown, and you know, his voice changed, and you know what I'm saying? Everything. A lot of different things went into the re-release of Roach Gutter Slums. Even the artwork is the original artwork, but it's revamped by another graphic artist who brought it to life even more. That project.
That's fire.
Man.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm
It like
cut off-
evolved.
I'm cut off of Roach Gutter Slums for some odd reason, so I got to get a nephew about that, man. You know what I'm saying? Run.
Reverse.
Me off the shit.
Damn.
Oh shit, that's crazy, man. That
project, incredible production.
yeah. Everything, like the
Definitely well
pacing, like that, to me, that's my favorite project, like, of the year that I heard, and it's because of like all the factors. Like the pacing is solid, every feature did what they have to do, everything he's talking about. He had songs where he was talking street shit, but it wasn't like typical, like, oh, blah blah rah rah. It was like fucking
from the mud.
realistic.
Yeah.
Never
like,
gonna be
and
that with any of us.
I'm
You know what
a
makes the
big
difference
fan
is
of
the
like
detail.
yo, fact. I'm a big fan
Detail.
of like getting like I grew up in the old school, like the hardcore punk days, whatever, and I got a couple like punk tattoos on me, and I've always thought about getting quotes. And I was like, bro, if I'm ever gonna get a hip hop tattoo, it's gonna be Cash ruined everything around me, bro. That's some of the realest shit I've ever
Think about
heard.
it, man. Listen, it's one of the truest sayings. Think about
Fact.
it. Like, you could be in love with a woman, right? And then part ways. And at some point in time, you're going to be totally good with that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully she'll be good with that. But like money, listen, man, put in the right situations, money will make you do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Somebody
Facts.
told me one day, like, yo, you got really, really good character, but you haven't been tested enough. And I mean, I took offense to it. Like, what the fuck you mean I ain't been tested enough? You know what I'm saying? I done been through the fucking ringer. I'm who I am. Like, I'm solid. I've always been 10 toes. He was like, listen, man, what I mean is everybody got a price. And obviously, you ain't had the right amount of money in front of you to make you do some shit that, you know. And I thought about it, and I was like, motherfucker, you ain't either then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's
The way
true.
it is.
And nobody,
Just
if
the way
you
it
haven't
is.
had it, if you haven't had a certain amount thrown in your face, you
Real
can't tell
talk.
nobody. You could believe as much as you
Think about
want,
that,
but
You don't know what your price is until you know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really, because you know at that moment. You know what I'm
Yup,
saying? You
exactly.
don't know it right now. You know it at that moment.
Yep, exactly. Right when it's thrown at you, and that money could be thrown at you right at that time when your back's against the wall and you ready to flip. Yeah,
In given, man.
yeah, yeah.
Listen,
it's true.
one day I rolled past the bank one day, and there was a money bag outside, but it had the smoke. The pink smoke was coming out of it. So you already know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't want
it's-
to do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That,
it's
but
tagged.
if that pink smoke wasn't
Yeah,
coming
that
out of
shit-
it, listen, man, what we doing?
Taking that bag for a ride.
Hit Javier. Hit Javier. Tell him I need 10 of those.
Yeah, yo, fact.
Right.
That's true. That's very true.
Mhm.
And what's
Yeah.
crazy is what's
Listen.
crazy with money too. Like you could be the most like straight cut, like law abiding citizen, whatever. If you saw that bag of money, you
Right.
stopped for a second.
Listen,
you
it ain't
stopped
got-
for a
Yeah.
second. You were like,
Hey,
Yo,
listen, yeah, money takes on different forms too, bro. It ain't got to be straight cash. In Florida, every time we have a hurricane, bricks wash up on the beach. If I happen to be taking a stroll and trip over a brick,
listen, you see your boy out there
Listen.
snorkeling.
listen,
He ain't even a strong swimmer.
I'm gonna have a weird shaped backpack on. That's
just
all I'm gonna
doggy
say.
paddling in a storm.
Word.
That's true, man.
Tie the rope around his waist and be like, all right, Go
I'm
get
going
'em.
fishing.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
big.
Yeah, man. And
Indeed.
honestly though, that to me too, like that whole concept is very real because that's what people don't realize. Like money changes so much right in front. Money is so crucial to the shit that's changing around us to the point where we don't even recognize it because that's how regular it is. That's how second nature it is. And dudes always,
It's
everybody,
like breathing.
yeah, literally. And people like to, cry about music, this, that, and the fifth. But I'm like, bro, people don't realize. I'm like, how do you think people fall for 360 deals and shit like that? You think like, yeah, 1 second it's like, oh man, I'm about to do this. Like them dudes is like signing their life away. How can this dummy do it? But if someone's like, bro, we give you this 500 stacks clean cash today and another 500 stacks in a few months, like you get a cold million in a year, you think someone's not going to sign that because they just hear million? They don't need to know what's on that paper when it comes to that. Like if they need it, they need it. You know what I'm saying?
In most cases, they're not reading it. They're not going to educate themselves, especially if they don't come from nothing. They're like, hold up. Right now, I got $32.54.
Yep.
If you know how much money you got, that's already a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fact.
But you know that after you sign this, you know what I'm saying, in the next 24 hours, $500,000 is going to clear.
Yeah.
Most cats going to be like, fuck it, man. Listen, I can make that $500,000 work. You know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out. Everybody all of a sudden turns into a hustler.
Yeah, fact.
I can make it work. I can make the 500,000 work.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, that's you
Next
thought.
thing you know.
Yeah, you thought, and that's what
Some
ruins a
people
lot of
can,
these
but
guys. No, but see,
Right.
not
Right.
all. It's a small percentage of cats that
some people
actually know
can.
how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Really.
Like you could look at some of the greats, and you can't be like, oh, all these greats have been around every single moment. No, they got ups and downs too. Like Nas disappeared for a bit. He lost half of everything. You know what I'm saying? He disappeared. He had to come back and forth. It's,
The craziest
dangerous.
thing is like, you know what I'm saying? We've had the opportunity to be around some artists that we've idolized, coming up. I'm one of those cats who used to be at the record store every Tuesday, opening CDs in the car, and the car had a cassette deck in it. They ain't even had no CD player in it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been blessed to be around some of those artists that I was running to purchase their albums, and you'd be very, very surprised how regular these cats are, how regular these dudes live, because like that shit you see on TV ain't always what it is.
It's entertainment.
Yep.
Yeah, it's truly
You
is.
got to remember them.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like being out here, like I'm out in Long Island. I'm in Suffolk, Long Island, and I see a lot of like legends, like dudes that I grew up like appreciating. Like I'll see like Eric Sermon just like at a store. Remember I told you I ran into R.A., the rugged man, at Starbucks, and he was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, man, if I was rich, I'd have somebody go to Starbucks for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the move is to get real famous and then move somewhere where nobody knows you.
But see, these cats are home, bro. Like these cats are home.
Yeah, they're at home though.
Yeah,
but-
these cats are home.
Y'all East Coast cats are different though. If somebody's from your hometown, y'all ain't fans. Like, yo, fuck him. Like, he made it.
Yo, New York's like that, man.
In most cases, I think that's how it be. That's how it is. It's crazy.
They're crazy.
We got a lot of rappers. We got a lot of artists here in Rochester, and we got a handful of very, very popular artists here in Rochester. You know, a couple of fellas really doing their thing, and like I be out and about. I might be out with my wife, or I might be out with my kids or something. And I'm at a movie theater, and a fella turning around, and he keep looking, and I'm telling my wife, like, you know what? The next time he turn around, I'm gonna split his shit in half. And then he turn around, and he be like, yo, you MAV? Or their favorite thing to say is you the cloth, and I'll be like, oh.
It's like shit. He almost needed one.
We in Rochester, bro. You know you can't do that shit, man. Just say something to me. I'm approachable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm approachable.
Smile or something. Don't just stare at me.
Don't turn around looking. I think you setting up. And I got one on me. Stop playing.
Yeah, fact.
Listen, the Olympics
trying to catch Queen and Slim with my lady, bro. That's all.
Which was fire, by the way. For anybody who haven't seen Queen and Slim, it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Absolutely, I like it. I feel like something is missing. Me personally, I can't put my finger on it, but it definitely had a lot of messages in there. It definitely will hit home with. It should hit home with everybody with today's climate and everything. So definitely a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good time, and I enjoyed it. I was like, yo, they didn't get too deep into any aspect of what they were hitting, but they hit everything evenly. Like anybody could watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Repeat this, and I hope somebody listen to this podcast before they actually see the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but them motherfuckers' names ain't even Queen and Slim. That's just some shit.
No one's name. It wasn't a nickname or nothing. Like nobody one was Queen and Slim.
What the fuck?
No one. I don't think anyone says Queen or Slim the whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah, not even the news, bro. No one says it.
Nobody, man. I'm telling you, me and my wife was leaving the theater. I'm like, who the fuck is Queen and Slim?
Wait a goddamn minute.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh man, that fucked me up just now because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, no, the whole movie, nothing, bro.
Now when I see it, that's all I'm gonna be thinking.
Yeah, we might.
I'll be listening, like
we just that
I'll be listening the whole time, waiting for it.
Watching the whole shit.
We get to the credit to be like, God damn.
Nah, definitely relevant though, man. Definitely relevant. Definitely relevant.
Word.
We need bubbles.
Gecko bubbles.
I got you. After this, okay?
You have it ready?
After this. Yeah.
Dude, you about to put the bubbles in the tub?
Nah, he got this like bubble blower toy or whatever, and it's like he wants the whole collection. So I'm just like, relax, man. Like, he's spoiled out here, man. He can't.
I thought that's what he said. He was like, I want Gecko Boy.
Yeah, it's Amazon, man. Amazon spoils these kids. Amazon spoils us and these kids.
Yo, facts. It's PJ Masks.
You gotta get Amazon, man, more respect than anybody right now because the Amazon man is the new fucking Santa Claus.
I mean, you're right, bro, but
we don't have toy stores here in Rochester anymore. Like, there's no KB toy store.
They're all done here too.
That's because of Amazon, though.
So Amazon man is Santa Claus. Real talk. And you see him often.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got to be careful not giving them too much praise though, because
he's ruining the world.
Listen, they're ruining everything.
Quarterbacking your packages from the street.
I mean, you're right, but listen, they also fucking torture their employees and shit.
Probably.
Yeah, bro. That work.
Probably. I mean, whenever something's making that much money, if these dudes is making billions untaxed, something bad's going on. You know what I'm saying? Once you hit like the close to billions or in the billions, there's nothing good going on. You know what I'm saying? It's something bad.
And that's
you're a super villain.
Yeah,
that's with anything. Some cutthroat shit going on.
Yeah,
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, there's some small country paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Jeff Bezos could run a small country.
He could buy multiple small countries, man.
He could end world hunger and not go broke.
and sleep comfortably.
Why do that? because that's too much like right.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what's crazy? It's like, you know what's funny? If someone's like, yo, why wouldn't you like cure hunger? It'd be like, yo, because there would be a lot more people upset about it. And if you really think about that, like, you know what I'm saying? There'd be a lot more rich motherfuckers like, don't do that.
Somebody coming up dead.
Yeah, you fix hunger, you're messing with a lot of people's money.
To get JFK.
Absolutely. You don't, listen, man, I think you don't ever really want the playing field leveled when you get to a certain point.
It never will be. That's the pendulum will swing.
Truly. Yep. Truly.
Yeah.
Yep. Truly.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, that's why we got what we got. I mean, if you think about a world where everything was like evened out, man, music wouldn't be as good. Nothing would be as good.
No creativity without pain.
My favorite type of music is struggle music. I wouldn't have no struggle music in my life.
The underground music scene would disappear.
It'd vanish.
Every driveway would have a Mercedes in it or the equivalent, and everybody would have green grass. There would be no shortcuts, you know what I'm saying, where the grass is worn down and you hop over the fence and none of that. Everything would just be so clean, you know. And it'd be
no pissy hallways.
Yeah, none of that. It'd be a guy in
That's
there
a fact.
they'd be cleaning it up. Everybody would be picking stuff up, putting it in the garbage.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be very different.
The world is a wild place, man. It's a wild place.
It is, man.
Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, exactly.
This thing carefully and responsibly.
That's it. See, another thing. Speaking of, we're gonna bring it back to your team. I'm gonna keep doing that because it's the house duties. But bring it back to the team. One thing too, talking to Riggs and stuff like that. Like he would mention, like in his songs, he'd mention like alkaline water and stuff like that. And then we see him like he'll post some stuff, putting people on and stuff like that. And like we got him. And you need that.
Did y'all catch the video when I was coming from Chick-fil-A and he opened up the door? We was in Atlanta.
I didn't see
man, listen.
He lit you up.
He told you what was in the chicken. He was like, man, there's formaldehyde in there. There's this and that. He probably messed you up, man. I get that.
Listen, love him to death. And just to really bring things, I've never been out of shape. Right now I'm currently 205 pounds. I'm down 20 pounds from 225.
Okay.
At 225.
Fighting weight.
At 225, I get you. You know what I'm saying? But at 205, now I can get you and get away from
you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't get gassed in 20 seconds.
Oh, nah, none of that. We can go 15 rounds. Damn, 12. I'll knock you out and wake you up. But I say that to say it's because of him. You know what I'm saying? That we've all gotten more conscious of what we put into our bodies, how we do it. Even if you're still eating meat, you're doing certain things in moderation. Listen, I ate more grapes on a freaking trip with him than I had truly eaten my whole life. And I told him, like, nephew, I had to look at him like, nephew, like, not for nothing. Do you know I just ate more grapes just now than I ate my whole life? Give me another bundle of them joints.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, it's different though, man. But it's real. Like you need that type of stuff. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm like
fruits and veggies are fire.
Yeah.
True indeed.
Yeah, bro.
True indeed.
And what people don't realize, like that shit, it changes your brain, everything, the way you think, the way you function, like everything, bro. Like your immune system, everything, like.
That fruits and veggies, like that 93 octane. You know what I'm saying? Your system, you run clean.
You know what really fucks people up? It's sodas. It's the sodas.
Yeah.
That's really what's fucking out here.
Syrup.
Yeah, it's straight. It's basically drinking a candy.
It's the stuff that it's the same shit that it's the stuff. If you think about this is what because like I work in like a hospital field, so I see a lot of crazy shit, like just off of ridiculous. If you want to know the stuff that's like wrecking Americans and like ruining us, look at the shit that they feed kids. And as dark as that is, what do they feed kids? Oh, juice boxes, French fries, nuggets. There is not a single thing that people say is normal for kids to have that isn't what's ruining us. Like all that starchiness, like the sugars,
carbs,
all of that, like the juice, but processed meats, all of that. Like it's because it starts with the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? The kids are the first consumers. Like,
Shit, I was raised off of bologna.
Like, what is? We still don't fully know what bologna is. There's probably 1,000
Processed
YouTube
meat, right?
videos.
That's horse meat and shit.
Smashed in. We used to have the bologna with the little red plastic.
With the rounds,
right around.
Yeah.
Tear that off.
Yeah. Yo, you want to hear something? Fuck, I knew a girl that, as we were like 18, and I had to tell her to peel. She was like, I don't like bologna. It's got that shit around it. And I was like, you peel that off. And she was like, what?
You don't eat that, sweetie.
It's like, bitch, it's not like a potato skin. Like, you don't grow bologna out the ground and you could eat the skin. Like that's nasty.
I was like, that's like plastic. And she was like, oh, well, maybe that makes sense why I don't like it.
One thing I noticed is when you have an element of intelligence, right? Depending on where it is, where it comes from, you always have a lack of common sense. You know what I'm saying? There's always a lack of something. Like, this is just fact. You could be around somebody and they know all of this different math shit. Like my kids, they got math with, it got more letters and symbols than it got numbers. I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm gonna go on YouTube and I hope when I finish watching this shit, I can help you with it. And I probably won't be able to help you with it. But then
it's true though. It's true.
I ain't doing no math. That's my wife's job.
This is different, man. But then you'll see something, you know, when they'll do something and you'll be like, why'd you do that? Oh, I don't know. Like, I know. Like, see, that's the fucking problem right there. You know, all of those damn symbols.
But you have no idea why.
But, yeah, you just did some shit that could cost us all our fucking lives and nobody knows why.
Yep.
It just felt like the right thing to do.
It's true.
It just seems like
it's crazy. And that's just like how like humans just now in general, we're conditioned to just do. We don't question nothing. We just do. Like, the simplest thing in the world is like, which I learned recently, like almost like a year or so ago, that it's actually not good for you. Is like, yo, eat 3 times a day. Eat 3 times a day.
Oh yeah, you don't actually need.
You
to
just beating your body. Yeah. Now tell somebody. Tell your moms or tell your grandma. Tell someone just a few generations older than you. Like, oh man, I didn't have breakfast. They're like, you didn't eat breakfast. They bug out like, yo, what are you doing? You killing yourself. And you're like,
that's a hangover from like the fucking Great Depression and shit, bro. Because post the Great Depression, everything was about opulence because nobody had nothing. So now it's like, oh, we're gonna sell these people all this food.
Yep. And it keeps the numbers going
portions. Too. They probably ate more times, but they ate very, very small portions. Yeah. They didn't have it in abundance. Now
they eat like fucking oats and shit.
Man, listen, I bought 2 loaves of bread, 1 honey wheat, 1 white, because my youngest, that's all she want to eat is the white bread.
Oh, the worst
1
bread.
Honey wheat bread. It's the
sugar.
absolute worst bread for you to have. Listen, but I also was able to get bagels. I was able to get wraps, this, that, and the third. Like the options and shit that we have, we can just freely go get. Let's think about it. That's all bread.
Yeah,
I got 5 different types of bread. When you know what I'm saying, back in the 1920s, 30s, you could get 1 loaf of bread, and
it was hard.
Yeah,
it's shaped like a football.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It wasn't no slices. You had to have a good blade.
Yep.
And what's crazy, and it's crazy too. Like, what's scary is like the fact that like we can easily get all these types of things. That should wake us up to like, hell, maybe a lot of this isn't good. Because think about when you want to get something good for you. When you like, yo, I want to get some health. You're like, man, I can't find this nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But anything bad,
it's only grown in some remote island someplace.
Right.
Yeah. But listen, if you got $1 and a dime, you can go get a McDouble.
Facts.
Yep.
Hot.
Yo, they used to sell. They used to sell us cigarettes like they were
custom made bread.
I was telling somebody like when I was a kid, they used to have cigarettes like in a candy machine. Anybody who wanted something, you just put a couple of coins in there. And I think at that time they probably was like, don't let me date myself. There's probably like 75 cents or so. Like I remember when cigarettes honestly was like $1 and some change. You can just put it in the machine, pull it, cigarette slide out like a Snickers bar.
They started taxing the fuck out of them when they realized they were giving everybody cancer.
Listen, I remember when I first realized that cigarettes was $10. I was like, yo, that's like 1,000% markup.
Let me tell you,
yo,
that's Florida. They are not that much in Florida, dog.
But they still like $7-8 out there by you though. That's still that's money, man.
Right,
Yeah.
but still, the first time I went to New York, I had to buy a pack of Newports for $15. I was like,
You know what I'm saying?
"Fuck out of here!"
Yo,
I'm finna
hey,
kid,
end of the
as
day,
a kid, I used to be able to go to the store. I could go to the store with a note, and the corner store and the liquor store was connected to each other, right? So I can go to the store and buy a pack of Pall Malls in a gold pack, and go right to the liquor store, put a note on the counter, and get a bottle of Gordon's gin.
Yep.
Easy work.
Yeah.
It was regular shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the guy at the liquor store already knew who this for. Your grandmama, uncle, such and such. Who this for? Yep.
Dude, easier
And
times, man.
it was a graveyard. It was a graveyard right across the street. Not like the typical graveyard with graves in it. I call it a graveyard because all of the old dudes over there used to drink Wild Irish Rose, and the bottles had gold caps. So it was truly like 1,000,000 gold caps. It was like a mountain of gold caps over there, and empty bottles too. Yeah, like truly like a mountain. They would sit there.
It's like a monument to alcoholism.
All out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
But you knew that the bottle and the cap was gonna be over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
imagine how
shadow.
many livers that represents. How many people got
Yo,
cirrhosis?
dude, that's crazy, bro. Hey, man, that's humans for you. We turn anything into an addiction. We got food as an addiction. Anything.
We don't even be
everything.
realizing that we addicted to anything.
Oh yeah.
It's regular shit for us
Oh,
to
yeah.
eat. This shit that we eat, it'd be regular shit.
Oh, you tell someone like that's the quickest way to tell somebody like, oh, you don't know what addiction's like. It's like, yo, go one day without eating. Tell me how you feel.
There you go.
That's addiction.
There you go.
That's addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Explain to somebody like they was like, yo, after I eat, man, you know I'm gonna be ready for a nap. And I was like, yo, you know that don't work like
That's
that.
it's
how
not
that's
good.
supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's your body's literally telling you like, please stop. You're beating me up.
I'm lethargic because I
Yo,
can't
when you
process
call your
this
body
shit.
shut down, like fuck that, stop the presses.
Bro,
gotta
as I
figure
got
all
older,
this shit out.
I started realizing like I'd hit a fast food place on the way home or some shit, and
Feel
then
like
I'd
trash.
falling asleep early, feel like garbage.
Yeah. That's
I'm
not
like, oh,
like, and
shit.
people just mistake, like, that's how you know it's addiction. Like, bro, I'm satisfied. No, bro, your body is screaming, bro. Your body's like, help.
That's how
Yo, I need some
telling
water.
My son that literally like 20, 30 minutes ago. I just picked him up. You know what I'm saying? He's 16-year-old boy. I just picked him up from LA Fitness. He been working out and he been hooping. And he like, Dad, can we swing by McDonald's? I just want to get a quarter pounder with cheese meal. Me, you know, I'll take him. He get his food, and he like, listen, this frappe mocha, such and such, be this. I said, listen, if you really gonna be an athlete, you're gonna have to stop putting that shit in your
gone.
body.
Yeah, that's
He looked at me
gone.
Like he said, Dad, you've been telling me that for the longest. Like, yeah, because I was an
true.
athlete.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not.
You
how
think?
they-
Yeah, you
you
think
know,
they're
totally
eating like
different
that
operating
constantly?
system.
There comes that age where that flips, where you won't handle that frappe or that double quarter pounder well.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
this
see
shit hits
all
different
I
after
see
25.
The majority of the guys that were athletes when I was an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And most of them don't look like they was ever athletes. They truly don't.
Yep.
You look at them and be like, damn, he used to play ball. Like, damn, he used to run track.
Yep.
But like, they literally, like the way they be built, you know, they be built like Fred Sanford, you know.
And it's crazy,
bad,
and they
man.
think that is normal, but they'll be the first person to be like, "Oh man, LeBron's old." It's like LeBron, you and him
Right.
are the same
LeBron
age. Why
looks
you
himself.
look 1,000 compared to him? Then you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, why you look 1,000 then? Like, if he looks like that, it's not just because he's working out and playing sports every day. Like, our bodies aren't supposed to age that quick. We're not supposed to
That's
just
just
be out
somebody
here
says that shit.
dying.
You just look at them and go, "Do you own a mirror?"
So I actually took my youngest sons, right now 16 and 14, right? I took them on a we can call it a field trip, and I just took them to the neighborhoods that I grew up in one day. We got up maybe about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They got dressed, and I took them to the old neighborhood because my kids, they don't know anything about any of that shit. They've never had to live like that, so they don't know what it's like. So I took them, through the old neighborhood. We just so happened to run into it that an old acquaintance of mine, and they literally thought he was an old man. I showed him the same love I showed him from back then, but I explained to him like, hey, listen, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. He walking down the street with a beer and one cigarette in his hand that he just purchased. With that being said, he can't afford to buy a whole pack of cigarettes. But out of all of the things that he could possibly be doing at this time of morning, he felt the need to get up, get out of the house, and walk to the store. There is no corner store where we live. You have to get in the car and drive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm so thankful to have grown up in those environments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? You learn a hell of a lot. You may not realize it at those particular moments, but when you grow up, you appreciate things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, like listen. I love the hood. I love the love that's in the hood, and people who've never really been there or have never grown up there, they don't really understand. They don't see it because on television they only give you the bad shit that come with the hood. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, I live way out of the way, and me and my wife have worked very hard to make sure we lived way out of the way. And guess what? That motherfucker across the street still be playing that music loud. It still be motherfuckers zipping back and forth down the street like it's a drag strip. And you got if my wife went to school with a couple of guys that ended up being like state troopers, police officers. So whenever we see one of the first things they do is ask like, hey, listen, where do you guys live? Boom. Give me a call so I can let you know what's going on in your neighborhood. But to the naked eye, you don't see any of that shit. You don't see any of that shit. Yeah. The trooper lived right across the street from me. I don't like that shit. But you know what I'm saying?
Listen, your neighborhood's a little safer, you know what I'm saying?
You got to turn down your own releases a little bit lower than normal if he's outside.
Listen here. Listen, but on some real, we ain't talking about no music, and I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah. That's how it is. We keep it 100 all the time. We just like to fuck around, bro. That's what it's about.
He is a different type of cat, man. I remember I spoke to him and his wife when they moved in, and of course, you know what I'm saying, neither one of them said anything. And I did it one more time, you know what I'm saying, just to see if I was tripping or not. So last year we had this nasty storm. My driveway is a big driveway. You can fit 7 cars in it.
Nice.
Humble brag.
My man pulled up with the plow, right? And listen, I see him over there shoveling too. He getting his ass whooped. My man pulled up with the plow and was like, yo, I'm going to create a path. I want you to move those cars out of the driveway so I can clean it all out. So, like, all my kids got cars and shit. They line them up in the street. And my man taking care of, you know, he holding it down. He clear it out. Like, listen, I'm telling you, my driveway look like it's summertime, right? I put the cars back in the driveway. I make it my business to stand on the side of the truck and be like, yo, I need you to hold my neighbor down right here, too. Listen, it wasn't him, though. Because he wouldn't speak. You know what I'm saying? Listen, little shit like that, man. Listen, first impression's the last impression, and I gave you 2 outs. Listen, saying hello to somebody, that's just a common act of courtesy.
Yep.
I pointed at my neighbor house on the opposite side, and my man went right over there, cleared they whole shit out. Listen, they didn't ask for it. They was still in the house asleep. They didn't even know what was going on. They just came out to a nice driveway, and he looked at me like, yo, you need me to hold son down? I was like, nah, we ain't fucking with him. Listen, he was like, yo, you good? I said, I got it from here. He pulled off.
That's funny.
Nah, we good.
That's great, though. I respect that.
Listen, I think common acts of courtesy, you know what I'm saying? Either they go unnoticed or they're just absent altogether.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you look at us, you know what I mean? You see a dude with dreads and all these tattoos, you know what I'm saying? Until you actually get a chance to communicate with him, like it's tough to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to categorize him like he's a bad guy, this, that, and the third. Yeah. Now, trust me, everything that you're hearing in my music, that's an old me. I'm giving you an older version of me. But listen, I got a beautiful wife. I got great kids. You know what I'm saying? So me carrying on in that manner is very, very contradictory to, you know what I'm saying, coming in this house and kissing my wife or politicking with my kids about what they should and should be doing. You know what I'm saying? I got a kid who's graduated from college. I got another one who's a junior in college right now. I got 2 sons in high school. You know what I mean? We on a totally different type of time over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope though, man. Yeah,
Salute
man, that's
to that.
dope. That's goals. That's goals,
super
man.
dope.
That's goals, man. That's what I'm trying to do.
it.
That's what I'm trying to do
Facts.
out here.
Me
That's
too.
goals.
Tell my kids anything that they thinking about doing, like I've done that. Listen, I've done that and I have won at that. But I know plenty of guys who have done that and they have not won at that. They're no longer here. You know what I'm saying? In one capacity or other to tell you those stories. So if you get those ideas, you want to be a hustler, listen, your grandmother was one of the first hustlers I know. And I'm a second generation hustler. So I can tell you everything that you think you want to know about that. And I can show you all of the symptoms and everything that come with that shit. And I can tell you right now that you are not built for any of that shit.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, man, it's true. It's true, man. You tell people you can't just jump into that and acclimate. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. Because like if you see someone that's like a hustler, like a real hustler. Like, and I'm talking like a successful hustler. He was born in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never. You can't just be like, oh, I'm finna. It's like a fucking episode of Jackass or some shit. I'm finna go to the hood and become a hustler on YouTube. 30 days shit. No, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Don't work, man. Listen, we came from those neighborhoods, man. Coming up where, when you went to another neighborhood that wasn't yours. Like the dudes they already got you, picked up your scent. They knew you wasn't from around there. That shit gonna go one or two ways. Pardon me, it's gonna go one or two ways. Either you gonna stick around and scrap, or you gonna get ran the fuck out of there. That's just how that went. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But they was gonna press you about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it. I want to say, like, I don't know if it was some sort of rite of passage, like, yo, this our neighborhood. We got to see who those guys are, this, that, and the third. But listen, they would literally roll up on you like 10, 11 deep. Like, that's what, like, they were the centuries for the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, who is those guys? Let's go check them. And that's what it was. But, like, my kids, they don't know that. They don't know any of that shit.
They could go on any block. Like they could walk anywhere they want. Like, they could do anything they want. Yeah.
Any place comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That suburban life hits different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very real.
That's why we take those field trips, though. That's why we take those field trips, because
context is important.
Yeah, because just because they not growing up in it, they could still learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly though that one that's dope. That's one of the dopest thing I think anyone's ever talked about in any of our interviews. Like, I look up to that, so I appreciate that. But that's such a real thing just in this world in general. Like, you don't have to grow up in it to, you know what I'm saying, to need to like have to learn it. Like, you can learn it, you can show it respect, you can pay homage to it, you can learn it.
Absolutely.
And these kids don't have that.
We do it.
There's a difference between being aware and being involved.
Yeah. And that's what's missing with a lot of like youth and kids and shit like that now. They don't care about that type of stuff. They don't want to learn it, but they think they know it. You know what I'm saying? And it's messed up. There's no respect. There's no paying homage. There's no like understanding of it. And that's because there's not a lot of people like they're like you out here letting them know like this is a part, this exists. You know what I'm saying? This is real. This is out here.
Although I talk about a lot of different stuff musically, I never glamorize any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you sit and listen to it, none of that shit shiny, ain't none of that glamorous. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I listen to the Club, because y'all keep it. I don't care how gritty the song is. I don't care if it's like a song with a positive message. It's never shy of how dark and gritty life really is, and that's why you guys skyrocketed up there. Yeah.
Right. And listen, it was 40-something degrees here in Rochester today, and the sun was out, but like even with the sun out and the snow melting and everything, like it was still like a dark cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still gloom. It was still gritty.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, the snow
when
starts.
we travel, when we on our way back home, you know what I'm saying? Whether we land at the airport, you know, Rochester International, or we driving back into the town, like we always get to a certain point where we be like, welcome to hell. One of us would say something remotely similar to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it just looks very, very different. You know what I'm saying? Once you get back to that area, once we hit like Syracuse, it start getting dark. You know what I'm saying? And once you get to Rochester, you be like, shit, I'm home.
Yeah.
This is it. You know what I'm saying? This is it. The air ain't as fresh as it was a little while ago. You know what I'm saying? Even with the sun out, it's not as bright as it was. But
you see a snowbank melting. There's a Glock sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Man, listen, you ain't gonna see too many guns laying around, man. I'm about to teach y'all some.
Lay it on us.
Lay it on us.
Listen, the easiest way to get rid of a dirty gun is drive down the street, throw it out the window. Wipe it off, drive down the street, throw it out the window. That shit, somebody gonna pick it up. It's a wrap. Drive down the street, throw it out the window where there's an abundance of people at. The Goonies gonna snatch that up. They're gonna snatch that up. It's out of your hands. It's out of your hands at that point. They're gonna snatch that up. That's how that go. You ain't gotta go to the river. Now, keep in mind that when you do that, it's a possibility that you don't fuck somebody's life up. But good kids ain't gonna want nothing to do with that. But the people that come from that dirt, that come from that cloth, that come from that soil, they know what that is and they know what come with that. And those gonna be the ones that you see running from off the sidewalk on both sides of the street to be the first one to pick that up.
That ecosystem.
First ones. I say it all the time, like, yo, you ain't gotta do that. Clean that thing off, man. Clean that thing off, drive down the Ave, go to Mexico City, throw that shit out the window. Watch, they gonna run to that shit like you just dropped a bag of money. It's out of your hands at that point.
Shit makes sense. And if you think about it, in theory, that shit makes more sense. Like, in theory, that shit makes more sense. That's
out of your hands at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Somebody else.
Everybody wants it. Everybody want it. Listen, man, you can sell. Listen, I don't know if any of y'all ever touched any parts of the game, but you can move a hammer faster than you can move some dope. I can give you a $10 bag of dope, and I can give you a gun. You can sell that fucking gun faster. You can sell a $300 gun faster than you can sell a $10 bag of dope.
Yeah,
that's
a fact. That's a fact.
Listen, I can give you an 8-ball of dope and tell you to break it down, and I can give you a trunk full of guns, and you can move that trunk full of guns faster than you can move that 8-ball of dope.
Hey man,
niggas
and people don't believe that they
an 8-ball of dope right in front of you and it be gone, but you can move that trunk of guns faster.
People don't believe that they must not know how the government works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't believe that, they must not know.
Falling out of the sky in Chicago.
They must not know.
That's what I'm hearing. That's crazy.
Bro, there's
you gotta keep in mind like the type of shit that they got access to. Like,
bro, they just airdrop fucking weapon caches in the middle of the hood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, sort it out.
Magically
Figure it out.
I just recently read something about a gun that was turned in, a gun that belonged to somebody's grandfather that was turned into one of the buyback programs.
Fucking bullshit.
Was used in a murder like a year and a half after the buyback program, after the gun buyback program.
Jesus.
So somehow somebody turned it into the police.
And it made its way back
out into the streets and was used for murder.
Jesus.
Ain't that crazy?
Yep.
Listen,
I wonder how.
Yep.
Don't turn.
And people out here think that if they
going crazy.
And people think if they vote on Facebook, they're gonna stop gun law, making these new gun laws and all that shit. No.
Listen, gun laws is for law-abiding citizens, not bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad guys don't care about no gun laws. You pass all the laws you want. You know what I'm saying? That has absolutely nothing to do. What you're doing is you actually infringing on the rights of the law-abiding citizens.
Listen, we want to keep it a we want to keep it a buck. The only reason why we've never been invaded as a country is because we have the largest homegrown army in the world. In the world, Japanese generals said that we have more guns than blades of grass. Or behind what they say, said behind every blade of grass in America is a gun.
They was being sarcastic, but it's the truth.
It's the true shit.
There's more guns than citizens.
Yeah. Oh, a billion%.
A lot of guns, man. I would go to gun shows and I would get some stuff. We're gonna leave it at that. I get some stuff, but I would see guys, you know what I'm saying, and they would be getting stuff. But the gentlemen that I would see, they were like I was the minority there, you know. Me and the fellas that I came through, we were always the minority there, and I just so happened to know, like some of the other guys, we would call it guns and butter. I got some of my white friends live way out, got a lot of land or whatnot, so we would all get together, and like I said, we call it guns and butter. We would go get breakfast. We hit like a pancake house and have a good breakfast, and right from there we would go to the gun show. And we'd go get, you know what I'm saying, some guns and ammo or whatnot, this, that, and the third. So, like, I got guys that got, you know what I'm saying, 50 and 60 guns, and then they also inherited their father's guns, but, like, that's a hell of an arsenal, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of an arsenal.
Jesus.
And they would have, like, I never go to gun parties. They would have these gun parties. And because a lot of those guys do hunting, right? They've had these gun parties, and it'd be, you know what I'm saying, 70, 80 guns out, you know what I'm saying? And what they do is they go to the junkyard and buy an old car, buy some car doors and stuff like that so they can shoot them. But like, think about that, 70 or 80 guns out. I'm a little more careful.
And at a party, like I'm assuming
Absolutely.
You're gonna be drinking or something. Yeah.
Come on. You know they like beverages. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
just like most people like coffee. You know what I'm saying? You know they wanted to drink. And that's one of my things. I don't have a hunting license. I'm not into hunting, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Because these are the same guys that would tell me, like, listen, I got into it with another hunter the other day because I shot a deer and I was tracking him. You know, he took off and he went a few hundred yards this way, and I tracked him, and another guy assumed that he shot him, and now you're having a confrontation out. Bro, where I'm from, we ain't gonna do none of that shit. If I know you got a gun and I got a gun and we having a confrontation. Listen, if my man arguing with you about an animal, listen, he gonna give me that look. He gonna send that telepathic message like, facts. Blow his shit off. Like, you can't. Come on, man.
Hey, don't raise your voice, dog.
Like, stuff. You know what I'm saying? About this animal, like, we can't do that. I just know that that's not an ideal environment for me to be in. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of putting something in my freezer for my family to eat, we can't do that because I don't know how they get in and out of those situations.
I'm pretty sure that's not a common occurrence. That's probably just something that happens sometimes.
I hear about that even out here. I hear about hunters. Hunters get into
maybe that's y'all up there, bro, because I don't be hearing stories like that down here.
Man, y'all do bath salts and be eating each other's faces in Florida, bro.
Yeah, we can also hunt. Fucking get along too.
Yeah, that ain't how it go.
Yeah, something in our water is a little bit different.
Hey, bro.
Listen, most of
I've heard people getting killed over fishing holes.
In other situations, like the cats who are getting killed in the streets, you usually got armed guys shooting unarmed guys. Like, that ain't gunslinging.
Yeah.
Like, real shooters shoot the guys who got guns too. You don't just prey on people who don't have no guns. You know what I'm saying? That's corny shit. You know what I mean? So the real gunslingers, they know what it's like to be in a gunfight. They know what it's like to hear them things whizzing past you like shit. That was close. But
that one could have had your name on it.
Absolutely. listen, when somebody ever swung a switch by you and you could hear the wind, that's what that thing sounds like when you know it's in close proximity. That part is, listen, if that person ain't up on you, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's coming from. If you know where it's coming from, you know what you got to do.
That's wild, man. Hey, but that's life, man. That's how it be sometimes. But
Is this the first episode where we talked about gunfights?
We talked about a lot of good stuff this one. That's the life we live in right now, man, where shit like that just happens, man.
Oh shit, we lost Barrett.
That's all right.
Really back in.
Barrett, yeah, his phone probably cut
caught
off.
In the Matrix. We gotta get him back.
My man just got sucked up into the phone.
Nah, but yo, we usually don't go past an hour, man. We at that mark, man. But we're not gonna try to hold you too. Quick. Yeah, yo, that's why when you get a good, just regular conversation, that's the type of interviews we like to do. We don't like to do that corny, like, drama filled, like weird shit. Our drama is
gotcha questions.
Yeah. We like to just talk to shit because it's like, we are everybody hip hop. We people, bro. Like artists, people. We all people.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we're not gonna hold you too long, man. But I figure I'll throw a couple ending questions on there. But what I wanted to ask you, the first off rip though, I know you see the shit that we do, but truthfully, what do you think of the page, man? What do you think of Not Ya Manz? What we doing?
You know what? When I first spotted it, I was like, "Oh, these motherfuckers mean." But what I also noticed is that at least most of the artists, when they Not Ya Manz, they are very, very receptive to the criticism that you guys give. And I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when I read that, I always comment on it like, yo, bro, boom, you are a very, very good sport. If you take, what was said into consideration, you know what I'm saying, things might turn around for you. But I definitely like what you're doing. Riggs was telling me like, yo, I like these guys. I like their honest opinions. You know what I'm saying? And I think right now hip hop be so pussified because everybody want to ride and we all going with this. But you can't, like, realistically, everything don't be Jordan. Some shit sounds exam time out. And listen, I don't want to listen. I don't want you ever to listen to my stuff. Yeah, he just renamed the songs, but this is the same exact shit he was talking last time.
That shit is the worst.
I don't ever want that from you. And as an artist, it's my duty to never give that to you. If I want to hold you as a listener, I got to challenge your ears. I got to give you more content.
I make you listen.
The same thing.
Exactly. That's the shit that drives us crazy, yo. We will review something and I'll be like, yo, this shit sounds like everything that's out. And they'll be like, nah, you just don't get it. I'm like, bro, like, you're delusional, bro. Like,
and then it'll be 8 songs of the same thing on top of that.
And it'd be like it'd be no effort. And the worst part is, watch out, buddy. The worst part is there'll be no piece of, like, I could listen to a 12, 13 song project of just all trap stuff. And I'll be like, yo, I couldn't tell you who this artist is. I couldn't tell you a thing about him. I don't know nothing about him. I couldn't tell you where he's from. I couldn't, like, you listen to 90s stuff, you could be like, oh, that motherfucker's from Harlem. Oh, he's from here. He's from here. Mm-hmm. With these new cats, I'm like, yo, I got nothing from this. I don't know about this dude's life. I don't know if he just is reading something someone gave to him. Like, and that's not a good feeling. You don't want that when you listen to music. You want a reason to get invested. Yeah, you want to get invested. I want to hear something dark. Something not even dark. I want to hear something that's a piece of you as a person.
Real.
Truly.
Thank you. Then you could get flashy every now and then.
I ain't gonna say I went out left field, but we were in Miami, and while we were in Miami, I shot a video to a joint, and it was just a quick verse, but it was called Numbers Game. I know you guys heard the 80-20 rule. You know what I'm saying when it comes to relationships. Mm-hmm. So that whole verse was about relationship stuff. But it didn't come off corny like, oh, there you go on his LL Cool J wave, this, that, and the third. I was just truly dropping game in it. You know what I'm saying? Talking about being a younger man and having all of these ladies and having a solid lady, you know what I'm saying, in your life at the same time. Like, is you really willing to to give up that 80 for that 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's real. That's a real thing.
It was super real. It was super real.
And that's the good shit. That's the shit I want to hear. I want to hear something real. I don't want to hear something that like sounds like someone just made it. I want to hear there's little details that make you be like, oh, all right, he's really saying, you know what I'm saying? He's giving me something realistic because I've never heard something like that before. Some angle, you know.
We try to make it our business to give you the intimate details that give you the real intricate stuff, because if you really listen, you got people that's just giving you all of the cliche shit, the regular internet shit. It was like, yo, when I first meet you, when I come in contact with you, I could smell your pussy. I know you ain't no gangster. I know you ain't never did none of that, because you don't take us there. I don't smell none of that on you.
Yeah, you could feel when somebody's like
Absolutely.
that type of person or what they do.
Listen,
like,
man, listen, you like a lot of them really. You don't reek of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't reek of it. And the details that they do give, and listen, you seen that on the internet on the Netflix.
I was about to say, yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, you see that on TV. You see that on You heard that in another song.
Stuff, listen to this shit that we be talking about, like, and you got other artists that's doing it too. You know what I'm saying? But you got so many people that's just giving you this that regular, and if you've never been from it, it's easy to be consumed with, like, yo, man, this is really real dude, and none of that shit make you a real dude. Like, we was out there doing some wild shit. That's what it was. None of that make you real, but they don't know the difference. The audience doesn't know the difference.
Nope. Cause they like, oh man, you know, they talking like, oh, Jay-Z's doing all this stuff like that. It's like, man, he probably did it a billion years ago. If he's rapping about it now, he's just rapping movie stuff. You can't fall for that. Or Pusha T, stuff like that. It's like, bro, like, no, if Jay or Push gave me something about how they flipped that to stop doing all of that, I'd be like, yo, this is money. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, oh, now that's some real, you know what I'm saying? Those are gems. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that people don't get. Like, those little details, they don't get that.
That's what I said at the top of the podcast. I said the difference between, like, the shit that we're getting from, like, the cloth and the shit that we get from some of these other cats is the fucking details. It's the same shit with Griselda. It's the detail, the little shit. The little shit that they say. You're like, oh, okay, word. Like,
I think Benny more so than...
I was just about to say, Benny might be up. Benny gives you some. Yo, Benny be snapping on.
Bro, on everybody's
snaps.
Benny be giving it up, you know.
And the thing with him, if you listen to him,
respect to the other members, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They think too, but Benny be giving it up.
No, I agree 100%.
Benny gives you the details.
I was just about to say that he give you some like, and he give you like some. He'll throw a verse and it'll be like, oh man, this is some cool drug talk. But then he'll throw a dark ass jail detail, like, yeah, you don't want to get caught for this or this will happen. And you're like, yo, that's dark as hell.
We talk about using the toothpaste to put the pictures.
Yo. That's stuff real. Like that. Stuff like that. And it makes you think.
I've been very, very fortunate to not know that side of things. You know what I'm saying? But some people real close to me, they know those details. Like, I can never give you any prison, jail bars. I don't got none of those for you. But you know what I'm saying? You might hear somebody in my camp, or you might hear somebody on our joint that'll tell you some shit that have you like, hold on, I ain't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, he definitely some details that are not cookie cutter details. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of those cats.
Not recycled.
Yeah.
It's definitely not recycled, because for some people that's the very, very first time that they've ever heard anything remotely similar to that.
That's
so
crazy.
what we like to do is when we talk, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other, at least me and Riggs, we like to allow the audience to get as close to the animals as possible without getting hurt.
Well, getting bit.
Yeah, without getting bit.
Absolutely. We want to bring you there, you know what I'm saying? Because we understand that for some people, it's just like watching a movie. It's truly their entertainment. They have no idea. You can tell them anything and they'll believe anything. And it's obvious based on, you know what I'm saying, the current state of the music and the current state of fandom. You know what I'm saying? They believe absolutely anything that you tell them. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna at least tell it to you right.
And yo, and
That's
you,
what
you
we
got,
want.
and you guys do, and you guys have yet to let me down. Any of y'all? I've been bumping Dopanese for this whole weekend. Oh my
Dopanese,
god!
that Dark Low and Riggs project.
Oh my
that
god!
shit
Oh my
was-
god!
Mooch's project was nasty.
Dude, Dopanese has a
Listen, I
track.
told people my very first podcast. At the end of it, I was telling people like, listen, boom, this is Mooch. Get familiar with the name, and this had to be like 2013, 2014. But you see where he at right now. Like he a fan favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he
He's
this
fan
weekend,
favorite.
and I wish that if he would, I'm gonna let him listen. He need to listen to this, dude. This weekend, because of Dopanese, I was dressing as 90s as I could. I was back to my youth. I was feeling very good about myself. I'm like, you know what? This is 90s babies rap that I missed and I needed, and it's the future of it. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Mooch, I was bumping all weekend. Dopanese on loop all weekend. And I'm just like, it's just crazy.
That's crazy. I appreciate that, man.
Dude.
Listen,
Yeah,
when I'm
even-
out here, you guys talk about, you know what I'm saying, Riggs Project. I heard you talk about Moot Project.
Bro, Independence Day was gas too.
celebrated
Independence
like
Day was wild too. Yeah.
Independence Day was gas. Hey, let's not forget about Rob Gates.
Oh, no, Gates an animal. That's
Yeah, hell
that's
yeah.
my younger cousin. Listen, Gates an animal.
Wow, aggressive.
Man, listen. Man, listen. If you only knew though, you know, truly,
He barking on the beat.
Gates done been through it. You know what I'm saying? And he give you all of that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gates' first album he ever had was DMX. Can you
makes
tell?
sense.
You know what I'm saying? That aggressiveness. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Hell
Like
yeah.
people love Gates. He the steroid. He the steroid to the club. Like, he gonna give you everything, but like, man, listen. Once you get a dose of Rob Gates, you like, whoa, what
Yep.
is that?
That's gym
Like,
music.
that's a different.
That's gym music, man.
And Gates Project, listen, in Independence Day, Gates Project, I don't know, we must have missed something, you know what I'm saying? But that project was masterfully done. He different aspects of him that, you know what I'm saying, most people would never have known or never. And just the music is just good music. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my people's, without showing any bias. Like, I'm truly a fan of the work.
It's fire. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. I couldn't hype it enough.
Plus, I was on there drumming.
Yo, yes.
But yeah,
Fact.
Gates is a problem. Gates is definitely a problem, and he gonna continue to be a problem too. You know what I'm saying?
The
He's
whole
gonna
team,
keep
your whole
giving
team.
that music.
Yeah, we ain't been let
The
down
whole
yet.
team, and you guys all rap different. You guys all can rap
Right.
y'all asses off. You guys subject matter's different. It's
Appreciate it.
fire, bro. Like like I've been pushing out since the day I finished listening to that Roach Gutter Slums and doing that. I've had nothing but good things to say about y'all whole team and everything y'all put out. I listened to. I'm like, here's another one. I'm like, all right, here they go. Like, I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried at all. Y'all just gonna keep doing it.
Yo, I've been at work yelling at the younger cats I work with.
Y'all don't know shit about
know
this.
about Rochester. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't know nothing about this. Shut up.
We love it.
Yeah, he talking about, oh, my favorite rapper's Offset. Get the fuck out of here.
Offset.
Be careful.
Oh,
But yeah.
That's some of those young cats I work with, bro.
Gotta put
Gotcha.
people
I
on.
get it. Like my sons, I'm sorry, my sons, the ones in high school. You know what I'm saying? They listen to Juice World and all of them other guys. All of they music, you could do this too. You know,
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it be hard. I don't be trying to convert them. I get it. You know, one of the things that I can honestly say, whether I like it or not, I remember being young and I remember wanting to listen to my rap music, and I remember my parents
Trying to put
and
other.
you know the older people saying, "Turn this junk off." You know that ain't nothing but noise. This, that, and the and I feel like, in a sense, we've turned into them. I respect the younger guys' creativity. I don't want nothing to do with none of that. You know
There you
what I'm saying? That's their
Fact.
thing. That's their thing.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
it. That's
saying?
it. That's for their time. That's it.
Yeah,
That's why
their
we got.
thing.
That's why we got a couple younger cats that do reviews too.
Yeah,
because,
just so we're not fully like biased
Yeah.
old heads. We got some younger, more with the youth type reviewers, and they do some stuff too. And I like to distribute it nice and even, so it's not like, so it's fair to everybody. So it doesn't scare away all those kids too. It doesn't scare everybody away.
Listen, when I seen Riggs turning that corner, because I mean he was young. I remember he was probably about 15, 16 years old, and we used to charge him $25, if I'm not mistaken, for the week to come in to record. He could record all week for $25.
It's fire.
We had a studio over on East Avenue. That's a real upscale part of Rochester, right? But it was done because like we knew the ills that were out there in those avenues. And when Riggs would rap, like the fellas that was around me would look at me like, yo, he done seen some shit. And I'm looking at them like, yo, you have no idea.
You already know, yeah.
Like, yeah, you have no idea. Like that's why it's $25 for the week for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's why it's
we like having him around.
$30 an hour for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I need him in here. He need to be in here. You know what I'm saying? More so than out there. But
that's dope, man.
You know what I'm saying? He turned into an amazing artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably his biggest fan. I don't want to discredit nobody else who's a fan of his music, but like I've seen him turning into what he's turned into, and I gave him, with the exception of the Purple Tape and my Reasonable Doubt cassette, every album that I had ever purchased. I gave it all to him. I gave him all of the old magazines, and this is stuff that I collected since and all of that. I've been out of high school for a very, very long time. I gave this to him several years ago. And it's just, for me, that was like handing him the Bible. Like, yo, that's everything right there.
Passing the torch.
Yeah, truly. Listen, I passed him the torch. He took off and ran. I don't even see the flame no more. He took off and ran with it. You know, like, I can't keep up with him. You know what I'm saying? Can't keep up with him. Listen, not too many people can. Not too many people can, but the crazy thing is not too many people are going to ever be comfortable to tell you, like, yo,
all right, don't jump on the box.
We can't keep him, man. When you get on the track with him, you hold on for dear life.
You're along for the ride.
Listen, and I don't be caring who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
signed or unsigned.
I couldn't name anyone that I think could comfortably be like okay on a track. Nope. I couldn't, and we listen to rap all day, mainstream, underground. I couldn't name someone who's gonna be comfortable on a track with him.
Bro, even that.
Listen, you know the funniest shit.
Joint.
If you listen, right,
and that's Paz, bro. That's Paz.
If you really want to get a laugh, listen to Riggs and Nino Man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nino Man too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He get busy. But like you gotta know that when Riggs come into the equation, he about to shoot this shit up. So like, man, sharpen your damn pencil or pen or whatever you got going on. Like if this is what you gonna do, like do it. Because in the music he lets you know that, like, yeah, I ain't got no problem with paying for you. So he had to pay you for a verse. Prepare to die on that shit. Like, he's not playing no games with you. And look, he even be looking at me like,
all right, no more.
Stop trying to make this shit a good song. Kill that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
his
stop
food.
trying to make it a good song. Yeah, he be like, yo, just kill him. Yeah, that's what he wants. He would just kill him. So yeah, like, listen, and it's out. It's gonna be out there. But there's literally a folder in our studio, in the computer, and it's labeled funerals. It's labeled funerals.
That's great. I love that.
It's a lot of names. It's a lot of tracks with a lot of names in that folder.
Oh man, we need to.
We
need
I gotta get them people to kill notebooks.
Now Not Ya Manz needs a secret listening of these these funerals. Keep it over there. Yeah, we need a sneak peek listen, and we won't tell nobody about it. We just need to understand. We just need to
walking
hear
around
it.
with the stank face for a week afterwards.
Just make it as an album, and we'll do a review.
Listen, I hear everything, and it's still stuff that I haven't heard. You know what I'm saying? But I always mess with him because I have a complete album of his that has never been released called The Scrolls, and nobody has it. It's never been pressed up. Listen, I am the absolute only person who has it. And I'd be like, man, if I'm ever hurting for some bread, boy, you better know that somebody's going to press these vinyls up. I ain't even playing with you. Listen,
You already know.
imagine 13, 14 tracks. You know what I'm saying? That nobody has heard, with the exception of him when he recorded them, and me because I have access.
Oh nah,
to
we
all of them.
we make it. We
Remember
doing
our
we making a business trip out there. We got to hear these. We can't have these music out here. We can't hear, man. We got to hear some of these.
He got some, man. He got too much, man.
That's crazy.
Everybody does. I be snooping through their folders when I'm in the studio so I can hear some stuff. Or I just be like, yeah, play all of that. Or whose is that? I need to get on that.
Who's that?
Listen, everybody in my camp talented. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm
You
a
yeah,
fan of
for
all of them.
sure.
So sometimes you hear something and you just be like, ooh, like you got an extra verse on that, or you know what's
You
going
got
on with
room
that?
on
I need that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. Because you know what, you want to be involved. Like with whatever they got going on, you don't want to get in the way, but you want to be involved. You know what I'm saying? I want them involved in what I got to do in some capacity. I want to be involved with what they have going on musically. You know what I'm saying? In some capacity. And other than that, like, it's all good music. So when you hear it, you want to know, like, yo, this shit ain't done, is it? Like, I know you got another joint or something. You got to get me on there some sort of way. Because you don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
fact. I feel that.
You don't want to be left off of headshots. Like, you don't want that in your life.
It's a fact.
You don't
man.
want that. You don't want the re-release of Roach Gutter Slums to come out without a verse.
without
you
me on
it.
The disrespect.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
man. It's just, you know what it is? Truly, it's just so much going on with all of us musically. He recording several projects. I put the finishing touches on Angels and Demons too. I also got a joint, Giallo Point, that I'm gonna go in and record that.
Another
joint.
one of those producers, man.
Nasty.
Absolutely. I got a joint with Michelangelo that's, you know, it's several songs are already done. But like, yeah, everybody has a ton of stuff going on. And like every now and then you just get to that point where you be like, yeah, this is ready for us to present it. Like, so let's get into the mixing and mastering stages and, you know what I'm saying, do all of that. And you never know who you left off. So, you know, we got a lot of food on the table, man. It's a smorgasbord. You don't know what you want.
Are we waiting for that Angels and Demons
either
too?
way, we're not only are we waiting for
not top of the year, end of the year.
Yep.
This month.
Dude, we gonna be pushing it as we're gonna review it. Two, we're gonna be telling people like we've been doing all year, they need to check out everything y'all put out, man. For real. Like y'all got like some true, and we like to hate, we like to roast, we like to fuck around, but you got fans out of us, like real shit. Like we are fans. The team.
Hearing that.
Yeah,
Truly
man, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Listen, y'all got a fan in me too, man. Like I said, you know, I definitely appreciate.
I gotta send you. I'm gonna DM you after that. I don't know if you rock hats or any of your kids rock hats, but I gotta send you some Not Ya Manz hats, man.
Oh man, listen, I'll rock them joints. You know what I'm saying? My kids definitely rock them.
Yeah.
Joints. We'll make sure. Oh, not
show them
the
the
guy.
back. Show them the back. Show the back.
Oh.
Got the lace bag.
Yeah, man, we got you. We gotta send you some hats,
Classic.
man. Yeah,
like
we're gonna
that.
send you some hats, man. But yo,
like
man,
that.
this is my favorite interview of the year. But yo, this was solid, bro, man. Yo, thanks
that,
for
bro.
chopping it up with us, man. Real shit.
Man, listen, thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no
I truly
doubt,
appreciate it.
It was our pleasure.
I took time out of my day to make myself available for you. But you guys had already made a conscious decision that you were going to take time out of your day to make time for me. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely...
That's respect, man.
Kates, I definitely appreciate it, man.
No doubt, man. Yo, and last thing, let everybody know where they could follow you, whatever, your music, all that stuff, you know. The drops, the hip-hop drops.
Say no more. As far as IG is concerned, you can get at me at the business end _MAV. Twitter is MAV nothing more. On the strength of everybody still saying Mav Montana, it's Mav nothing more. And I don't do Facebook. Like I don't.
That's fine. You don't have to do them all.
I try to keep it real intimate. You know what I'm saying? But you can definitely pick up just about anything we got going on 9orbetter.com. Got to give, you know what I'm saying, the team website a plug. It's a lot of freebies on there. It's a lot of downloads. I think Rick still got some vinyls on there.
Fire.
But listen, that's what it is. You can go over to ChongWizardRecords.com. and pick up the few vinyls that I got left over there for the Dust to Dust project. And I might have like 2 or 3 Dust to Dust CDs with Obi and some originals, you know what I'm saying, on deck. But that's it, man.
Hey, all right, man. Yo, again, we'll let you know when this drops. I'll message you as soon as this drops. But yo, we truly appreciate it, man. This was dope, man.
Likewise. Definitely reciprocate.
Appreciate you.
Power, fellas. You know it. You as well, man.
All right. Yeah, no doubt, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you as well. Peace.
Don't matter who did what to who at this point. Fact is, we went to war, and now there ain't no going back. I mean, shit, it's what war is, you know. Once you in it, you in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. Or we gotta fight.
They say misery loves company, loves company. Well, scoot over, let me take a seat. Blatantly, this emptiness taking me from A to Z. Brazenly, the things that it's making me do, you hate to see. You hate to see. I take whatever I can steal from it. The people I loved did me wrong, so I don't feel nothing. The dark angels gave me weapons and a shield from it. Killed everything that came at me, somehow it's still coming. It's still coming at me. If I knew, I would have done better. Grandmother died, I put my heart into one letter. Heart in that letter. Signed it and I sealed it when I sent it off. So anything surrounding me and her will get resolved. And anything outside of us should never get involved. She kept my secrets all, even helped me dish the vault. I couldn't talk my way out of situations the hammer solved. I never showed up to talk to him, I came to kill them all.